Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about a few very new but also very popular Game of Thrones theories. George R.R. might not have released The Winds of Winter in 2018, but it did release a 700-page history of the Targaryen dynasty entitled Fire and Blood, the first of a planned two-part series. One of the big reasons behind the book's success are the tiny hints of how A Song of Ice and Fire might end, including a new prophecy that might be about Gendry. Ever since Brienne of Tarth executed Stannis Baratheon at the end of Game of Thrones Season 5, thus ending the line of true-born Baratheons, fans started to wonder if Gendry, the bastard son of King Robert Baratheon, could be legitimized. There's also a theory that Gendry might already be a legitimate son, as some believe he's the black-haired boy that Cersei claimed had died, and Cersei on the other hand is Gendry's blonde-haired mother he remembers. Thus far, nothing like this has happened or came true, but now that Gendry is back in the story, fans are wondering if he could have a bigger role to play in the great war that is upon Westeros. That brings us to Fire and Blood, George R.R. Martin's history of the Targaryen dynasty. Fire and Blood is told from the perspective of a new character Martin invented, Archmaester Gyldayn, who is described as crotchety old academic. His history of Targaryens comes through multiple primary sources, some of which contradict each other as they push their own agendas in the recordings of the news of the day. The chapter The Dying of the Dragons is about the Dance of the Dragons, the Targaryen civil war that tore Westeros apart. Early on in the conflict, Prince Jaehaerys Velaryon realized that his side had plenty of dragons, but not enough riders, so he offered lands, riches, and knightwoods to whoever could tame the beasts. These people came to be known as Dragon Seeds. One of them was Hugh Hammer, a guy who has a few things in common with Gendry. Here's a description of another bastard who eventually becomes a lord. Hammer was a Targaryen bastard born on the island of Dragonstone. The son of a common blacksmith, Hammer was a huge man with hands so strong that he was said to be able to twist steel bars into torques. Although mostly untrained in the art of war, his size and strength made him a fearsome foe. His weapon of choice was the warhammer, with which he delivered crushing, killing blows. In battle, he rode Vermithor, once the mount of the Old King himself. Of all the dragons in Westeros, only Vhagar was older and larger. For all these reasons, Lord Hammer, as he now styled himself, began to dream of crowns. Why be a lord when you can be a king, he told the men who began to gather around him. And talk was heard in a camp of a prophecy of ancient days, they said. When the hammer shall fall upon the dragon, a new king shall arise, and none shall stand before him. Whence came these words remains a mystery, not from Hammer himself who could neither read nor write, but within a few days every man at Tumbleton, a town in the Reach, had heard them. Obviously Hugh and Gendry don't exactly match, but they share many similarities. They're both bastards, their lives involve blacksmithing, and they have a potential to rise far above their station. Hugh was betrayed and killed before the end of the Dance of Dragons, but Gendry's story might end up different. Don't forget what Melisandre said to Gendry in Season 3, Episode 6. You're more than they can ever be. They're just foot soldiers in the Great War. You will make kings rise and fall. Melisandre was probably referring to his blood that she used for blood ritual, but what Melisandre was wrong yet again, just as she was wrong while convincing Stannis that he is the promised one. What if Melisandre was right about Gendry making kings rise and fall, but missed the true meaning? What if kings will literally rise and fall because of him as a result of his own acts? Could Gendry, for example, cause the fall of the Night King by either forging dragonless weapons or even forging Valyrian steel sword? Could the last living son be brought back to do something big, something that will save the whole Westeros? Perhaps. Also, Archmaester Gyldayn, the man who wrote Fire and Blood, points out that Hugh undeniably possessed some Targaryen blood. Usually, the Targaryen blood is a must to ride dragons, or to even come close to them without being burned alive. As a Baratheon bastard, Gendry has a Targaryen blood, since not only is House Baratheon founded by the bastard half-brother of King Aegon I Targaryen, Orys Baratheon, but the Baratheons and Targaryens intermarried for years as well. This means that Targaryen blood flows in the veins of the Baratheon line. As a matter of fact, after Robert's rebellion, Robert assumed the Iron Throne on the grounds that he had the best claim out of all the rebel leaders, because he had Targaryen blood. To justify Robert's claim, the Maesters would later use his blood ties to House Targaryen, although it was conquest which won him the throne. Long story short, Gendry has Targaryen blood. This means that Gendry can almost certainly ride one of Daenerys' dragons, although it's probably going to be Jon Snow who is going to ride Rhaegal, a dragon named after his father Rhaegar. But it's the prophecy that got us really interested. When the hammer shall fall upon the dragon, a new king shall arise, and none shall stand before him. As Game of Thrones news site Winter is Coming pointed out, one idea is that the prophecy already played out when Robert Baratheon killed Rhaegar Targaryen with his warhammer on the trident, ousting the Targaryen dynasty and then ruling the Seven Kingdoms for over a decade. Another idea is that the prophecy has yet to be fulfilled, and that Gendry is the guy to make it happen. Interpreting it literally, might Gendry actually kill a dragon with his warhammer? What if Gendry, a skilled blacksmith who now knows that Dragonless is the key to killing Whites and White Walkers, forges a new warhammer that incorporates Dragonless? Then he could use it to kill Viserion, the Night King's dragon. What if Gendry's Targaryen blood could help him get close enough to Viserion to land a mighty blow from his warhammer, ending Viserion's life as a White Walker? After that, a new King Gendry arises, fulfilling the prophecy. Possibly. Or he could just be the one to end the Night King and then support Jon Snow's claim to the Iron Throne, causing the fall of one king and rise of the other. Could it be that George R.R. Martin's Fire and Blood hides some clues for the endgame of A Song of Ice and Fire and is in one of them? Definitely, and it's not just a guess, it's been confirmed by George himself. According to Martin, Fire and Blood has Game of Thrones finale clues buried away in the story of an early Targaryen years. In conclusion, the prophecy of a man who will one day wield a hammer and take out a dragon is still out there, unfulfilled. Even though many interpret it to mean Hugh the Hammer, prophecy, as Martin likes to remind us, don't always work the way those who hear it assume. Gendry, as direct descendant of Orys, has Targaryen blood. Could he be fated to kill the Night King's dragon? Will Gendry be the one to slay Ice Dragon in Game of Thrones Season 8's final battle? Another new and popular theory I'm bringing you in this video is about the wall, a new wall. Going into Season 8, most of us see only two possible outcomes. Either the Night King wins and the Long Night lasts forever, or the Night King is defeated and the living has won. In this theory, however, no one wins, and at the same time no one loses. Here, basically the living and the dead will both survive the Game of Thrones and both will survive in Westeros. Let me remind you what we learned from the official Game of Thrones Season 8 teaser. Without showing a single frame of new footage from an actual show, HBO manages to serve up a thematic teaser that brings together fire and ice in an unexpected way. The Stark sigil is displayed directly upon Winterfell. Marker becomes completely encased in ice, excluding the head. What this means is that the Night King will win Winterfell, and even though most of the Stark men will fall, the head of House Stark will survive battle for Winterfell, probably all the Stark children. Basically, the North will lose the battle against the Night King's army and will be forced to retreat south, or at least those who survived. The Lannister marker, on the other hand, becomes completely engulfed in flames. House Lannister is most likely going to die out in Season 8. Will Dany burn Cersei in a Red Keep, or will Cersei burn King's Landing with wildfire, or will Cersei finally decide to join the Grey War is yet to be seen, but the teaser does imply that the living fire will hit the dead ice and the other way around. Fire and ice race towards one another, freezing and burning all in their path, clashing near the three forks of the River Trident, a place of great historical significance for Westeros. It was here that Robert Baratheon defeated Jon's father Rhaegar Targaryen. It was also here that Torrhen Stark knelt to Aegon Targaryen during Aegon's conquest, and it's seemingly here that another conflict between ice and fire will take place. Ice and fire collide there, and it's seemingly where the final battle will be fought. The same place where Children of the Forest first sealed the pact with the First Man, also where the Dance with Dragons was fought, and also where the God's Eye is located. However, ice and fire meet in the middle of the battlefield in this cryptic look at Season 8, and the collision brings with it a new wall that's poised to divide Westeros in half. Basically, as ice meets fire, a new wall is born from the collision, running east to west across the middle of the continent. Some fans are saying that this is a wall of obsidian, known to the people of Westeros as Dragonless, which in our world forms when lava from a volcano cools rapidly. The going theory is that this will become a new wall, the old one having been breached by the Night King and his undead dragon mount. Since ice and fire meet in the heart of the continent, and since an outcome of that battle seems to be the wall, many fans believe that the Game of Thrones might end with both sides winning and losing at the same time. None manages to win. Both live on their own half of Westeros, with the Night King and his army on the northern side and the living in the southern side. The new Night King's kingdom would extend from the lands of Always Winter, past the Broken Wall and down into the Riverlands. No one wins. The Night King and his army of Whites and White Walkers get one half of Westeros and the living gets the other. Truly bittersweet ending. Bitter that the living did not win against the Night King and many characters died, but still sweet as the Night King did not win either, and the living did not go extinct. Since Dragonglass is one of few things that can kill a White Walker, the wall made out of it would obviously be an effective way to keep the White Walkers and their whites from ever crossing into the realm of the living again. Of course, this theory takes the symbolism in the teaser trailer very literally, but nevertheless it's a very popular theory among the fans. Personally, I've always believed that the series would end the wall where it all started, but I never expected it to possibly take place on a new wall. It also seems logical that the wall would be rebuilt after the final battle had ended, this time with material that would most certainly prevent from another attack of the Night King. The current Lord Commander, Ed, is the 999th Lord Commander of the Night's Watch. This never struck me as accidental. George R.R. Martin is not one for coincidences. When Ed passes in the battle against the Night King, it means that the next Lord Commander of the Night's Watch will be 1000th Lord Commander. Although who will it be remains unknown, with the most popular guesses being Jaime Lannister if he survives and Jorah Mormont. In conclusion, this new wall would represent another case of history repeating itself, and just like after the first long night, both sides will survive, and the wall will be created to divide them. Only this time the living will have to give up the entire north to the Night King, not only the northernmost part of it. The Gendry theory that I introduced you with earlier in this video also sounds interesting, especially with Gendry fitting in the prophecy that is yet to be fulfilled perfectly. Let me know your opinion about the Gendry theory as well as about the bittersweet ending of Game of Thrones in the comment section down below. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to subscribe to our channel, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.